Okay, streaming a little earlier today. I wanted to see if I can get a little bit more done. We're back on 999, back to getting through more of the endings, or getting through more of the story rather. Last time we helped out Clover, we got to this ending where we found a coffin, but couldn't open it. Let's see. And we figured out that what we're going to try and do next is... You're actually...
Wait, it stopped?
So now what we're going to do is we're going to try and figure out what's going on here, because something I realized is the only time I've taken this path is when I also went through this door, and this is clearly a dead end. So I'm wondering if I would go this way and then take this middle path again with, I believe this is the 8 door. We might see something, we might figure out something useful. There might be something connected to this pathway. Since the 4 and the 7 doors appear to have been connected by some information, maybe there's something we can find out by going through the 5 and then the 8 doors. Also, Clover seems to be, from last ending, Clover seemed to have been convinced that the guy who was thrown behind the what was it, number 3 door? Yeah, that this wasn't actually Snake. Also, I realized she mentioned being in one of these games before, and I realized, okay, that's how she's managed to make all of these observations about adding up the numbers, is because she's had to do this before, unfortunately. But anyways, so we're going to just jump right over to here.
I thought we were...
Presumably, if we take the number 5 door, which we've done before. Yeah, this is... I mean, that's not going to change what the basic math answer for that one is. Co-op. Okay, so in this one we go through the door with 7 and Snake. So I'm going to have to play through this section again, and I know the safe that we never used is a thing, but yeah, we also note that the number 9 bracelet is just sitting there. We don't do anything with it though, which is what I thought would have happened when we realized, hey, you know, maybe it's important that this bracelet is just lying around. But we don't... He still didn't pick it up. He went right past it, and we haven't had any other options yet. So I'm wondering, okay, if I go back to the flowchart. See, this says it's... Oh, interesting. See, it says this one's locked now, and this one is unlocked. So I'm guessing that means that these don't represent things that have been unlocked for overall, it's just for a particular run. So on this particular run, yeah, so I guess this is potentially like something you would normally just figure out by playing through it over and over, but I think this is just an indication that we're on the right track. But I still haven't seen anything actually be different, so I'm just going to try and blaze through this. Yeah, she wants the princess bed. Sure. I'm gonna pick these up.
What's wrong?
Okay, yeah, he mentions that he has super hearing. There's nothing in here. Yeah. Okay, so here's the safe. This dial locks doesn't have a key, you just need to get the dials in the right place and it'll open. Dial Nothing in there, same as before. Table is still just a table. The sink is still just a sink. Mirror is still just a mirror. Light is still just a light. This is still not a microphone. Could try pulling this plug. We might be able to use the water. Okay, yeah. I don't know how he knows that ahead of time. There's also this piece of paper, score printed on the front of it, musical score. But we never actually picked it up, which is weird. We need to put the fire out. So we need this. So we need this. Fill that with water. Now we can get the ceramic plate.
Oh. Hey,
He tells us about his memory loss. Still can't pick this up. So now that we're done with the water, we can drain this. Okay, so we have all of the musical items. This toilet is still does nothing. Yeah, it does nothing. Oh, there's the map. Okay, and we already know. What is it? Okay. Excuse me. So we unlock the door. Yeah, Westminster chimes. Okay. Now instead of leaving, it's a safe. Safe, huh? The exit's open. Strange that we didn't need to open this to achieve our goal. I think it's important. Wonder what's in there. Safe for the dialogue, it won't be able to open until... Okay, we'll just leave it alone for now and move on. Story goes living room. I don't have any reason to go out there. Yeah, so... Yeah, it seems like we can't go back and we can't open the safe still, so I guess we keep going forward.
another hallway?
There don't seem to be any keys up until this next part, so I wonder if we can just jump right to here. Because we've already
Well,
solved
we really
the
don't have a
casino
choice now.
puzzle. And I don't remember there being anything really important to that discussion. Or that was important that was discussed there. It wasn't like the other one we talk about, the Titanic and weird sci-fi stuff.
We can't let his sacrifice go to waste.
Yeah, so then we decide, and this time I'm going to take door 8 after taking door 5, so... Now, we get through into the laboratory. Clover is all sullen. She wanders into the operating area. The door closes. We have to work with her to get things out, or to get her out. I can't remember what order we have to do things. I know there's a cable over here. Power cable, yeah. We need this. These don't open until later. We need a power cable, but it's... Oh, right, we need a converter from 3 to 2-prong. This won't work. Yeah. So now I think we go over here. There's this part. Can erase permanent marker because we've got this. Okay, yeah. Hand it to her through the bars. Not her clothes. You just go back over and reference the cloth. That reveals the mark. She writes it down. Also, where is it? The power cable's over here, yeah. 2 of those little things. What does that mean? That's it. Okay, yeah. The plug, however, is a connector, yeah. So that's what we actually need. Okay, so everything is the same so far. Okay. I can use this to turn on the computer.
Oh, that worked. What? Huh? It's running on its own?
It certainly looks like it.
Okay, so... now she works on the computer.
What kind of job do you have? What are you?
Oh, this is different. Okay, so she starts typing. What kind of job do you have? What are you?
I'm unemployed at the moment. I used to work for a cybersecurity firm, but I quit.
Why?
Huh? Oh, it was just something.
I see.
Wonder if that has to do with the thing from 9 years ago that we learned about in the other route.
Oh, what are you doing now?
I'm going to try and brute force it.
Brute what?
A brute force attack is... Well, the short version is that I just attack the thing head on. The long version? A brute force attack is one of the simplest ways to break a cipher.
I think this is the same as before. No.
It checks every possible combination until it finds the right one. For a complex cipher, it can take a very long time. I'm writing a program that would run an attack like that on its own. It's not the most elegant solution, certainly. But given the circumstances, there isn't much else I can do. Oh, but back to what we were talking about earlier.
What were we talking about?
The wireless display? It's kind of strange if you think about it, isn't it? How do I put it? Well, let's say you write a program that calculates an addition problem for you, all right? So you enter 1 plus 1. The screen will show you 2. See? Isn't that strange?
No? Not really.
Oh, come on now. Of course a caveman like you would think it was strange. You said so just a minute ago. You're just not getting it, are you? Who calculated 1 plus 1?
The main computer, right? You said it connected to the monitor wirelessly.
Yeah, but someone who grew up in a cave wouldn't know that, right?
I suppose.
They'd probably think that this thing here, the monitor, is doing the calculating. And once they've decided that, they'll start examining this monitor. They might poke the screen or something. Ah, I see the color changes when I press it here.
I mean, I guess.
Then they might investigate the hardware on the inside. Oh, I see. So this wire supplies the power. Eventually, they might even cut the wires. Ah, yes. Just as I expected. When this wire is cut, no results appear.
Hold on, I got a cat to deal with. Come here. Ow. Here, I'm petting you. I know, you want attention.
Therefore, it must be this device which does the calculations.
Oh.
But the truth is that, just like you said, the computer is doing the calculating. But these cave people wouldn't know that, because they have no idea that the monitor and the computer are connected wirelessly.
So, what are you trying to say?
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to figure out.
Nothing, really. It's just, I thought maybe. What if the relationship between human beings and our brains is like that?
Huh?
Well, let's say you stick a bunch of electrodes into parts of the brain. A scientist examining the signals they send out might say, interesting. So stimulating this part of the brain causes the person to see colors. That must mean this neuron cluster controls that function. Okay, let's see what happens when I cut out this part. Ah, just what I thought. Cutting off this part causes that function to cease. Therefore, human thought processes must occur in the human brain. See? Doesn't it sound the same?
I mean, sort of,
Maybe the
but...
brain is just an output device. Like this monitor. Maybe our thought processes actually occur somewhere else. In a main body. We just don't know it. Never even think about it. Just like those cave people wouldn't know about wireless communications. We can't imagine that there's some unknown medium that transfers information into our brains, where we experience that information as thoughts.
The brain is just an output device. Human thought actually occurs somewhere else. That's just crazy talk.
Maybe that's the cause of Seven's amnesia. If memory is actually stored somewhere else, in some sort of main body somewhere, maybe he hasn't forgotten anything at all. He's just having a difficult time accessing his memories because the monitor, his brain, has been damaged.
Huh.
I suppose that would explain aphasia and blindsight, too. Perhaps they actually can speak or see. The monitor just isn't functioning properly. I guess people with prosopagnosia could be suffering from the same thing.
Wait a minute. What?
What? You've never heard of prosopagnosia?
No. What is it?
Well, put simply,
I like how
it means
she's
a
still
condition where the
typing.
mind can't distinguish between human faces.
I like how she's still typing, but she's not looking at the computer screen. She's looking at Junpei, like, yeah, I already know what I'm doing.
In other words, my face would look the same as Clover's or even yours. So they can't remember faces, which is how most people recognize each other. That means that people with prosopagnosia have trouble recognizing even people they're close to. Usually they can make do by associating people with other things. Their voices, their clothes, their hair.
Does that mean other people's faces look like blanks?
No, I don't think so. Well, you've seen monkeys, like in a zoo, right? To you and me, all the monkey faces look the same. Even though they've obviously got faces, it's almost impossible for a human to distinguish between them. The zoo staff that works with them would learn to identify different monkeys eventually. But you or I couldn't, unless one had a scar or something else to set it apart. But that's how people would be to someone with prosopagnosia.
Prosopagnosia. Huh. I didn't even know that kind of thing existed.
You know, I get that this is tying into all of the other references to, like, memory and, like, thoughts and things being transmitted between places or, like, ideas or molecules or whatever. This one at least, like, this one still seems off and is not quite how the brain works, I think, but, well, we know that's the case. But this one at least doesn't sound absolutely ridiculous compared to some of the other ones, so I guess it has that going for it.
And, what were we talking about?
The idea that your brain is just an output device, like a monitor.
Are you serious about that stuff?
Not really. I was just kidding for about half.
No.
And what about the other half?
Well, I guess I was just adulting.
Not funny.
It's nothing more than a story I made up out of boredom. Don't take it seriously.
I don't get what this has to do with, like,
It was the first thing that came to mind, and I just talked about it to kill time.
specifically what this has to do with the story, though. Like,
But looks like I don't need to talk anymore.
Why?
And I don't have to kill time any longer.
Oh, then you finished that brute whatever thing?
I certainly did. And let's see what we got. Piece of cake.
The screen changed again.
No, I
right, so this part.
Aren't you gonna, I don't know, do more computer stuff?
No, I can't do anymore. It won't let me do any more programming. See? The keyboard. Nothing. So, there's nothing more I can do. Well, I guess I'll leave this to you then, Junpei.
What?
Let me take a break, all right? I did my part.
Yeah, well, I guess you're right. Thanks, Lotus.
No problem. Make sure you know when you should thank people.
Now, I better take care of this myself. No more relying on anyone else.
This part's pretty easy. So we got the keys.
Hey, Junpei, do you have a minute?
What's up?
I wanted to ask you something.
Hmm?
Junpei, you went into door 5 with my brother, right?
Oh, so this is the part that has to do with going in. Yeah, because we went into door 5 instead of door 4.
Did you hear him say, like, anything weird?
Huh? Well, let me think. Sorry, Clover. I can't really think of anything. I mean, he did mention that his hearing exceeds that of a regular person, or something like that, but
Yeah, there was that.
that's about it.
Okay.
Hey, wait a minute.
Hmm?
Look, I don't know if I should ask you things, but if you don't mind, I was hoping you could tell me if, is Snake, was he born?
You're talking about his eyes?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't born blind. When he was a kid, he got in an accident. A really bad car accident. He couldn't see after that. And his arm.
His arm?
Oh.
Yeah. My brother's left arm is, it's not like a normal person's arm. It's
Okay.
fake.
Haha.
It's not a real arm. The accident hurt him really bad. To save him, they had to cut off his arm.
Oh.
Is that all you wanted to ask me?
Look, I'm sorry for making you talk about all that painful stuff.
Yeah, but this is actually important because she mentioned in the previous run through that we did, like, oh, I know that's not Snake. This is how she knows because, yeah, because
It's not
they
that.
make a mention. We'll get to this part in a second. excuse me. They mention this part when they find Snake, or I guess not Snake, as it's not him somehow. That his ulna is sticking out. I think it's the ulna. It's the arm bone. I forget. Anyways, we'll get to this in a minute, and I think Junpei will probably recognize it too. So now we just have to finish this part and get out of here. So, right. So I think she just overloads it or something. I forget exactly how this is triggered, but she essentially has to solve it. Oh yeah, there we go. One second. Okay, so yeah, we'd solved this puzzle before, so let her out.
Whew, thank God we got out of there.
Okay, now we're gonna meet back with the other group, head back into the main area. I think this part will be mostly the same. Yeah. Back in the room, Ace wakes up.
The key?
Ain't that what I just said? I'm talking about the Jupiter key. We found it in the operating room.
Okay,
Here.
so yeah, he got the
Oh.
Jupiter key while
Nice
we were...
catch.
What, he was in room 7 while we were in room 8.
Jeez. I see.
I'm gonna let you hold on to that.
Yeah.
Well, I've got something for you too then. Here, it's the Saturn key card. We found
Right.
it in the kitchen.
And this was in... We got this one in a much earlier playthrough when we got... Well, no. In the first one, or any of the ones when you
I might lose
take
it.
the
It's probably
four-door.
better if you hold on to it. That way it won't be my fault if it gets lost.
Yeah. On it.
So how many unused keys do we have now?
There's the Earth key we found in the laboratory, the Jupiter key you just gave me, and the Saturn key card from Lotus. I'll keep them safe.
The Jupiter key is supposed to be for the door at the end of that long straight hallway, right?
Yeah. If the map's right, then it connects to the central staircase. Then, next to the stairs,
Wait! What about door 3?
look, you saw the map, right? It's the same as 7 and 8. It just lead us back to the big hospital room. There's no point to seeing what's on the other side of that door.
There is a point. At least there is for me.
Yeah, you're right, I'm sorry. Snake might be on the other side of door 3.
Very well. I'll be coming with you then. I've had a nice long rest. I think it's time I was up and about again. So 7, you'll help me, won't you?
Huh? Me? Damn. Well, I guess that's how it's gotta be. So I'm going with you, huh?
Yes, you are.
All right, let's get moving. Okay, we're heading out.
Be careful.
Whoa. Didn't think I'd be hearing that from you, Lotus.
Don't let it go to your head. I'd be in trouble if the 3 of you bought it. The rest of us can't open the 9 door.
Ah, the truth comes out.
Okay, we're off.
All right, we should get moving too.
Huh?
Okay, I think this part will be the same. Yeah, because the 4 of us go explore the hallways that these keys open up and then report back. Now, what should happen is we're gonna come back from exploring these places. We'll come back to the main area. The other 3 will find quote-unquote Snake. And then maybe something different will happen because of what we've learned from Clover. Okay.
Just like Ace said, just like the Ninth Man. The detonator in his bracelet set off the bomb in his gut.
Oh god. The bone is coming out of his left arm.
It's definitely an open fracture.
Yeah, so
Oh, the face.
that's the part that's
It's
wrong.
horrible.
Yeah, you can't even tell who it is.
But the clothes are.
No mistake about it. It's Snake.
Are we not gonna comment on the...
Snake was probably murdered. Chances are he was killed the same way the Ninth Man was. It's pretty straightforward. Not that hard to figure out how they did it. First, the killers got Snake to authenticate on the
Did
red to
I-
open door 3.
Did I mess up somehow? We're here. Keys are all open. Hmm. So maybe he just maybe Junpei doesn't realize. He doesn't put 2 and 2 together. Oh, was Zero still on the ship with them? I don't know if this answer is important or not, but sure. I mean, I don't know. I'm still not sure about that part. But this part is still the same. Okay, yeah, so we go and explore this. We find out there's a 2-door. Okay, we've now seen 8 doors. We go back, decide on which way we're gonna go. So now we need to pick door 6. I'm not entirely sure why. I'm not sure. Well, let's put it this way. I know that door 1 has to do with figuring stuff out with Clover, and door 2 goes to a bad ending. So it seems like it's door 6 by process of elimination. So then the other 3 go with, or 7 and Lotus go with Clover. Ace comes with us. We go into this giant room. June feels weird again, so we have her sit down, start solving this puzzle. Okay. Let's see if I remember how to do this part. What do we need? What do we need? We need to put the coal in here, which means we need to get the box that's in one of those pulley systems, which means we need to go upstairs. Don't need that yet. I think we go through this door first. We might have needed to go to the left first, but we'll see. Alright, so we're up on the top level. So yeah, this wheel comes off. Good job, genius, you broke it. Anyways. So now I think we go back. Wait, not to this one. This one. Go over here, use the wheel on this one. Turn this. Well, we can't turn it, we can't hold it up, we have to drop it down.
I believe the box has reached the floor.
Yeah. June's down over by there.
She doesn't seem to be improving.
Well, of course not. She's not gonna just get better right away, you know? It'll take time.
What could be causing this, I wonder? Illness, perhaps?
Nah, it's gotta be exhaustion. She gets dropped into some weird-ass shit, forced to play some messed-up game. If you think about it, it's a lot weirder that we aren't freaking out just like her, you know?
So you're saying we're abnormal?
Yeah. We're just running around this room, solving all these puzzles like it's just business as usual. How the hell could you call that normal? We're just guinea pigs.
A guinea pig? You mean like a lab rat? You mean we're being used for some sort of experiment? Is that what you're saying?
Dunno, but it does seem like a possibility, you know?
Okay, so that part I think was the same.
You know, speaking of experiments,
Wait a minute.
there was this experiment some scientists did with rats. First, they took a squarish C-shaped tank and filled it with enough water that the rats could drown in it.
This is new, I think.
The tank has 2 exits.
Yeah.
Just to make it easy, we'll call one A and the other B. Exit A is pitch black, so dark even a rat can't see anything. But exit B is electrified, which means the rat can't leave through it. So, what would a rat do if it was put in this situation? Which exit would the rat choose?
B, of course. The rat has no way of knowing that exit B is electrified.
Exactly. The rat goes to exit B. Of course, like I said, it's electrified, which means the rat can't get out that way. So, after a lot of trial and error, the rat finally finds exit A.
I can't say that's very interesting or relevant. It's simply the story of a laboratory experiment.
You're right. It isn't very interesting. Yet. See, these scientists repeated this experiment over and over, using hundreds of different rats over several generations. This produced some surprising results. With each generation, the rats took less time to find the correct exit. Eventually, a rat was put in the tank who instantly chose exit A without even attempting to go to exit B. But that wasn't the most impressive part. The same experiment was conducted in another laboratory, far from the original one, with the same results.
So it's this.
No, on second thought,
this part
the
again.
results weren't really the same. The rats in this second experiment began the trials with significantly faster times than the first rats in the initial
The
one.
whole like weird transmission of information thing.
These rats weren't related to the others and had never even come in contact with them. And yet, they all easily found their way to exit A as though they already knew.
It kind of feels like they came up with like several different ways to like hint at this one specific concept, and then they just decided to throw all of them in at different points in the game.
What did it mean?
Are you suggesting something like telepathy?
Yeah.
They were passing information to one another through some undetectable medium?
How the hell would I know? I'm not any kind of scientist. I don't know what made him do that. But I do know that story's true. And if you've got another explanation, I'd sure love to hear it. Come on, let's get going. There's still a lot here we haven't checked out. And we gotta get the hell out of here before June passes out.
Hey, wait. There's something I want to ask you.
Oh.
What?
Why did they use that tank for the experiment?
Huh?
Well, I mean, it seems like you could conduct the same experiment without the water. They could have just used a dry box, you know? If they needed to motivate the rats to escape, they could have, I don't know, put some bait by exit B or something. I mean, do they really have to make it so the rats can drown?
You know, the word emergency comes from the same root as the word emerge. You ever think about that? Huh? Well, an emergency is something urgent, often something dangerous. And to emerge means to sort of come out, or appear, or rise out of something else. So what's going to emerge in an emergency? Inspiration.
Inspiration?
This is kind of alluding back to when Clover talked about being in.
Yeah. Think about it. When the chips are down,
She mentioned
either
something
you
similar, I
crack
think.
or your mind focuses and pulls up what you need.
So in an emergency, your real potential emerges. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. That's why the rats had to drown. They had to be in danger. There had to be an emergency for inspiration to emerge.
Which again, for Santa, this makes sense because she mentioned that if he knew the words that she learned, apparently this is something they figured out in the previous game. It's some kind of weird connection. So she was like, "Oh, you have to be one of us." So it makes sense for him to also be aware of this kind of stuff. I'm not sure why some of the other people in this group have all of these weird ideas, though.
Oh.
Anyways, let's go back this way. Yeah, to get back down. So yeah, I don't know. It does feel like they kind of like overuse the examples. It's like, we get it. You're talking about this weird telepathic concept. Okay, this part I think is the same. We get some coal. Put the coal in the furnace, and we have to do this a whole bunch of times to get all the coal into the furnace. So we all work together. Okay. We don't have matches. Yeah, we gotta go over to the ignition device, which is over here. Pull this thing down. This turns the gears. Gold is on the left. Bronze is on the right. Silver's on top. Rotate these. Or do I need to switch these? There we go. That opens the door.
Yes! The door's open!
Go get June. Santa talks about the
We
weird...
didn't have parents. They bought it in an accident when we were still kids.
Oh wait, this is different. Mr. Santa Claus... Yeah, because normally he talked about a weird story about two Santa Clauses. Parents had bought an accident when we were still kids.
So I had to be like her dad. And that meant that I bought her Christmas presents every year. On Christmas Eve, I'd leave the present next to her pillow. And the next morning, she'd come running into my room with this big smile. Look, look, Santa left me a present. He got me that doll I really wanted. I'm so glad he got my letter. She was always so excited. I was the one who told her to write those letters. I'd say, write down something you want and mail it to Santa. The address I gave her was somewhere in Northern Europe that doesn't exist. Anyway, she'd write the letter and stamp it and send it out. And then a few days later, it'd show up back in her mailbox marked address unknown. I'd open the letters before she figured out they'd been sent back. Once I had the letter, I'd go around to a couple stores with some money I'd saved up over the year and buy her the stuff she'd asked for. It took a lot of saving, but I managed to buy her presents every year.
Huh.
But one year, her letter was different. She didn't write a list of toys she wanted or anything like that. Instead, it said, I don't want any presents this year. Instead, I want you to make my wish come true. My wish is that we'll be happy like this for a really, really long time. That was it. Nothing else. But I couldn't make that wish come true. Some Santa I am.
What happened?
She died. She was killed 9 years ago.
Oh.
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 All right, let's go.
Oh no.
Huh?
Hey, what are you two doing? Let's get moving, come on!
Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, you're finally back.
Sorry we took so long.
Yeah, I think one of them had... I forget who it was, but somebody had
Let's go.
mentioned previously that, like, one of the kids died during the thing that happened 9 years ago. So it was his, So I bet he and his little
Is this
sister
a
were
warehouse?
both part of it. Just, I wonder if Snake was part of... Yeah, because I think Clover mentioned that she and Snake were both part. So I wonder if they were all siblings. I don't know.
No, I believe this is the cargo room.
Anyways, I'm
Wooden
actually going to
crates
have to
everywhere.
stop right
I
here.
wonder how old they are.
This part, I don't know if this part's going to be super relevant. But yeah, we unlocked this, so there may be something else that happens in this next section. Unfortunately, I've got to stop right now and go take care of... I got to go do something else. So we're gonna go ahead and save this. But fortune pending, I may be able to do some more streaming later tonight, so we may be able to get through the rest of this path and figure out what's going to happen differently. Hopefully something different from this. We'll figure it out though. So, hope y'all enjoyed it. Sorry this is going to be a little shorter than normal, but you know, we'll make it up for next time. All right, later.